Hey guys, before this video starts, I would like to ask you to please like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click the bell so that you receive all notifications from my YouTube channel. Alright, now enjoy the video. I was playing Clash Royale, at my desk, and this was the night before Christmas Eve. 2 nights before Christmas Eve. So I was just playing normally, and I was doing kind of good. But I had quests. One of my quests was to open up 10 chests before Christmas. Now, being the completionist I always have been, I wanted to get that achievement really, really badly, or that quest. But I didn't get to it very often. I was at my desk working, so I didn't really have much time to, do the quest. But, that night I found enough time to get on the app and play a little and attempt to get the challenge. So, since I figured there was probably no way on earth I was going to be able to beat it before Christmas with having 2 magical chests ready to unlock and 1 unlocking at the time, I figured the only way was to buy gems and use those to gem up the process. But sadly, at the time, I just moved into a new house. I was in college. I had a part-time job, so I couldn't buy it. So as much as I wanted to complete the challenge, I couldn't until I realized 2v2 challenges were introduced, and you can get chests from those without having any punishment from losing one of those battles. So that's what I did, 2v2 battles. And for the first few, I had pretty decent teammates, and I was doing quick matches. And the first strange occurrence was with this one teammate, James. That was his username, just James. And I was playing with him, and he was really good. But something was off about his levels. He was a level 9 experience-wise, but he had level 11 cards, some level 7, some pretty high weird cards. Like, he had a really high-leveled baby dragon, and we were only in Royale arena. So I was a little confused, and after the game in the chat, he kept asking me to join his clan. So, being the clanless, lonely person I was, I joined his clan, and to find it was just him and me in the clan. And he had it set to invite only as well. So, I said hi, and he said hi back, and he wanted to do some 2v2s with me. So, we went into a couple 2v2s, and I was getting my chests, and as soon as that magical chest finished up on Christmas Eve, I started to, unlock other chests that I was unlocking from these 2v2 packs. Considering I only had 12 hours and 3 3-hour chests to unlock, I was going to be able to finish this quest 3 hours before Christmas Day, meaning I would be able to beat the quest. Then James asked me something funny. Do you have Instagram or social media accounts? Now, being the weird person I am, I said yes, even though I only had YouTube, no social media. And on my YouTube, I didn't even have any posts. I just used it to subscribe and like videos and comment, leave reviews. So, then he asked me what my username was. So, naturally, I said my YouTube one first. So, after saying my YouTube one, he started to get a little suspicious. What's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? What's your Tinder? He asked a lot of questions that were kinda odd, and eventually I decided to leave the clan and make a clan of my own, set to invite only. Then halfway through unlocking the second chest, I was watching a couple of scary movies because that's the kind of person I am. I like scary movies. So then all of a sudden he began messaging me through the clan. Yes, my clan was set to invite only, But I had made the mistake of naming my clan what my YouTube channel was, so he was easily able to find it. But it was set to invite only. How would he join? Nevertheless, he began messaging me over and over and over again. Eventually, he just asked for my phone number and said he'd chill if he could just have my phone number. So, being the weird person I am, I gave him my phone number. With it, he began to start texting me and making weird calls with just breathing. Eventually, I decided to delete Clash Royale, and being an Android user, that meant deleting all the data, so it meant a fresh start, which typically meant pretty good news for me at the time. It meant I didn't have to deal with James anymore. Then, James somehow found my location through the app. He began to start. Well, I joined my brother's clan, assuming that him being the leader of this clan with a ton of members would at least be able to fight off or kick James from the clan before he was able to kick any people or cause any harm. So, like we expected, he did join, despite the clan being invite only. Then, then he began to act really strange, saying things like, "Where do you live?" and "What's the passcode to your email account?" I didn't want him messing around with my passcodes, so I didn't give him either of those. But then he asked, "Do you know where you live?" Of course, I'm not going to say yes. So I said yes, and my brother was starting to get a little suspicious of James, so he kicked him from the clan, only for him to rejoin 3 minutes later. At this point, my brother was offline, and me being promoted to co-leader meant I could easily kick James as well. But then someone in the clan promoted him to co-leader, which meant he could easily kick anyone other than a fellow co-leader from the clan. This meant really bad news. I told him, "Look, dude, what do you want? This is my brother's clan, alright? I don't want to mess around with you." He replied with, "Tell me your passcode to your email account. Tell me your location, and I'll leave you alone." Now, my location was also my brother's location, as at the time we were only 12. So, now, my location was my brother's location, as we both went to the same college together. So, if I told him my college, that would be also bad. What if he also went to the college but didn't know I was me? What if he somehow found out about me? What if he did something unthinkable? So I didn't give him either of these. He began to kick members that were only a member or an elder. This upset my brother really bad after reading my messages. "Why the heck would you not tell him?" "Because," I said, "I don't want to get tracked. What if he already knows us?" So, at the end of the day, my brother went to sleep, and I was still trying to unlock my final chest. The final stretch, the last 2.5 hours of waiting until that sweet chest was ready to be opened. I had to wait it out. I couldn't open it on Christmas, otherwise it wouldn't work right. I had to open it that night in order to get the achievement. Now, James was still in the clan, messaging and messaging and messaging over and over again. By the time I finally unlocked the chest, there were so many messages, 99 plus. So when I began to click on them, they all said the same thing. "Check your YouTube account, check your YouTube account, check your YouTube account." When I went to my YouTube account, it had been renamed from my YouTube account was called the Terrarian, but he changed it to James. Now this freaked me out really badly, so I decided to try and attempt to contact Gmail and Google. So after contacting them, or at least attempting to, it ended up not working, and this James person managed to get full control of my YouTube account, causing me to make another one. Now, I don't know how he did that, because I didn't give him any of my passwords. Then I began to think, my brother doesn't know my passcodes, none of my friends know my passcodes, my parents don't know my passcodes, no one in the world knows my passcodes other than me. How'd he somehow get in? Then it began to kinda sink in. If he knew me, he could have easily snuck into my room while I was out. You see, earlier that day I was out with a couple of friends, and we had gone to a pub or a bar, and we were a little drunk afterwards, but Being my drunken self at the time wasn't the greatest. Constant headaches, terrible. So, I only began to sink in the morning of Christmas when we had, well, also since we were on vacation, we weren't exactly at college because it was Christmas vacation. So, I figured only some of my closest friends would know where I live. It could either be Joe, Jeff, or Ken. Ken? No, surely not. It couldn't be Ken. He's always so quiet. He's the only one that plays Clash Royale, whose account isn't named his name. He's the only one in our group, besides me, that has Clash Royale. I began to suspect Ken was the person who had hacked my accounts. So the next day, I confronted him at his house, which was a pretty bad mistake as he had his girlfriend over, his parents, his grandparents, his aunts and uncles. I decided not to go inside, but I could see all their cars and see them from inside. But I could see the shape of a metal box on the porch, filled with cardboard. A metal box full of cardboard? Plus, how would I know it's full of cardboard? Then I realized it had reflective glass. I was seeing cardboard behind me. If there was cardboard behind me, a metal box in front of me, it was probably light, right? If the cardboard was outside of it. I turned around to see the cardboard, only to see a giant pile of it. I didn't expect it to be 5 feet tall, full of cardboard. Why would they have so much cardboard? I thought. And then I decided it's probably not important. I'll just go back home. So I went back home, and this was around about the time of 7 in the morning, so my parents were only just waking up. We had Christmas together. That was fun. I had my grandparents over, a couple of my aunts and uncles. It was a lot of fun. Until James had to ruin it. This time, though, I was outside of Ken's window, texting him at the time. He can't be on 2 apps at the same time, can he? He only has one phone and one tablet. He doesn't even have a computer. How'd he get onto my YouTube account then? This started to raise a ton of questions, which made me start to believe that Ken wasn't James, as James was on 2 apps at the same time, messaging me, posting in Clash Royale, all at the same time. You should always lock your door. That's what he said to me the next day, the day after Christmas. I just got a new computer and was setting it up. I was ready to start beginning to post to YouTube, as all my friends had already started. I was really excited because I didn't really have a proper job. Maybe YouTube could be my job. And then James sent me that message. And then he sent me some pictures. Pictures taken from inside my house. I don't know how, I don't know when, and I don't know. I just don't know in general. He was inside my house. How did he find my location? How does he know my real name? As he was calling me by Jonathan, my real name. He was calling me by my real name. I never given him my real name, even in texting. I just have my thing set to anonymous, except for family and friends, which meant he had to be one of my friends. I began checking all my friends' messages, and the only one that hadn't messaged me in a while was Joe, realizing later that Joe was on vacation and that his parents didn't allow him to have a phone over vacation. It was just family fun. That's what they always said. Due to this, it couldn't be Joe. My final suspicion was that it had to be Jeff, but it couldn't be Jeff. Jeff doesn't even celebrate Christmas. So, because of that, Jeff easily became my number one questionable person. He's the only one that would be able to message me on Christmas, where he'd normally have family over and restrictions for his electronic time. So, I began to ask Jeff where he was on Christmas. Now, don't judge me for this, but his family is totally freakish about someone breaking in. Cameras everywhere. So,